Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cantina Social Hour. Happy Friday. Hello to everybody. How's it going? How are you guys doing on this lovely April Friday evening? First show of April 2025, and coming upon our 12th anniversary next week. A few announcements before we get things going here. Firstly, speaking of that anniversary, next week, which is the closest to the anniversary, which I think is on the 12th, we will be having our 12th anniversary Cantina Social Hour special. So a few guests will be included. If you're a 6-scale collector, you probably know Mario, aka El Profesoro. He'll be with us for that show. And who knows who else will pop in, because it is the anniversary. I have a few tricks up my sleeve for that show. So hopefully it goes well, and hopefully the guests that I'm hoping that are going to come in, and it'll be fun. But thank you guys for joining us. Really, really appreciate it. On that note, a couple other announcements here before we get the ball rolling. With the way things are going with prices and tariffs and all that scary stuff, Entertainment Earth promo code right here, Victoria, is going to get you 10% off your purchase. If it's in stock, use that promo code, get 10% off. Every little bit helps in this economy, with the way things are going and looking. So save all those pennies that you can by using promo code Victoria. It costs you nothing at all. Just enter the code, get you 10% off your in-stock order, and save you a few dollars or a few coins. I guess it depends on how much you spend, right? But every little bit helps. In addition to that, so we will be on next week, normal time. Next week, of course, as I was saying, is the anniversary show. Just consulting the calendar here. However, the following week, April 18th would be the day that we'd normally be on. That is Easter weekend, and I will be busy. Therefore, no show on Friday, but we will be doing Cantina Social Hour Wednesday night edition. So on the 16th, mark your calendars. We will be on the 16th for Cantina Social Hour that week. And then the following week, it'll be back to normal, Friday nights, 25th of April. So it's just going to be that middle week of April where things are affected because of the holiday, Easter weekend. Easter is such a frustrating holiday. It's like it's never consistent. You never know when it's going to be. It's either like late March, or it's early April, or it's mid-April, or sometimes like kind of late April. And it's really frustrating because I just wish it was the same day every year. Like, come on, who chose what day Easter was going to be on? Like, seriously, it's annoying. Anyway, tonight's topic. So I just want to go over what we're talking about this evening before we say hello to everybody in the audience. All right, so there's some news from Mondo Ghostbusters. We're going to talk about that. We've got some SH Figuarts General Grievous. Oops, did I already say the figure? Yep, Grievous is coming. Marvel Legends reveals. There was a Marvel Legends Pulse fan stream this week. We're going to take a look at those. We're going to get into some Hot Toys, a couple of Hot Toys that have been announced in the last week since we were last on air, as well as some blogger photos. If you're a Mattel Jurassic fan, then pretty busy week for Mattel Jurassic. And then we're going to talk Tales of the Underworld, the brand new Star Wars trailer that out of nowhere just spontaneously came out of nowhere. And then, of course, we're going to end with new acquisitions, brand new things that we've added to our collections, that I've added in my collection, that our guest has added to her collection, and that you guys have added to your collections as well. So stay tuned for new acquisitions at the very end of tonight's show. And I do have some acquisitions to show. There's actually quite a little bit surrounding me. I'm almost swimming in acquisitions, you might say. But yeah, there's a good number here. So really, really exciting. Lots of stuff going on, you guys. It's been busy times. And I'm a little bummed that this is the very end of my spring break. I got to go back to work on Monday. But hey, at least I have a spring break, right? At least I get spring break. So that's cool. But yeah, I've been keeping busy, working on my stuff, and just having a good time. I went to Disneyland on Wednesday. I went 2 weeks in a row, actually. I was trying to make up for lost time. So I went last week, and then I went this week on Wednesday. And if you're following me on Instagram, you probably saw my lovely Instagram stories that I was bombarding you guys with. But truly, it was a great time. When you go alone to Disney, it's like it's really cool in its own way. I mean, I don't know that it's better than going with like a group of like-minded Disney nerds per se, but it still is a good time. And when you're by yourself, you just take your time, you do your thing, and you just have fun. I got to hang out with Snow White, which was kind of cool. And funny story, like, I mean, I rarely like approach the characters, but once in a while I will. If I see like there's no lion, then I'll be like, okay, that's my cue. There's no lion. I'm gonna go and bother them a little bit. So it's just so fun. Like Snow White was freaking amazing. She was so lovely. But funny story. So I was hanging out with Snow White, kind of just chatting, and we were complimenting each other's outfits and such. And it turned out I had to help Snow White with a task. So I did that. I helped Snow White complete a task. And then I was told to go to City Hall there in Disneyland, of course, which is like their little guest relations spot. So after completing this task in going to City Hall, there was actually an award waiting for me. And I didn't know this, because I've never gotten this award before, but they actually made me an honorary citizen of Disneyland for the day. And I was like, whoa, this is new. I told him, like, I've never gotten this before. Like, I didn't know that this was even a thing. I feel like I'm a pretty big Disneyland nerd, right? But like this, I was unaware of. I know that there's like buttons for happy anniversary, first visit, happy birthday, that kind of thing. But I didn't know there was an honorary Disneyland citizen button. So when I got this, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm going to be honorary citizen for the day. And like that actually really it made me very happy. So I got to walk around wearing my pin. I'm like, oh yeah, that's me, honorary citizen right here. Yep. But yeah, it was really fun to help Snow White out and get a little award like that. And so just little memories, little things that add to the magic. But yeah, that was a blast. That was a blast. Let's see who's in the house with us tonight. Is he first? He is first. What's up, Dodgton93? What better way to end another Good Friday is with another successful social hour. Glad you are here, Dodgton. Our moderator, Adam, is with us. Greetings, Exalted Ones. Absolutely. Greeting, Exalted One, Adam. Thank you for moderating, for keeping things safe and sane and fun. Thank you. Let's see who else is with us. We got Peak Obi-Wan. Hello, Chad. How are you? Hello there, my fellow Cantinians in Victoria. Good to see you. Absolutely. I love that the three of you guys are here. David, happy Friday to you. Thank you for coming in. Just reading these comments as I scroll. Ooh, tiki glasses. That's interesting. Battery Bob is with us. Hey, Bob. We got Jedi.Lex in the house. Hello, Jedi.Lex. We have William with us. Hello, William. Happy Friday to you, sir. Whom else? Rick is with us. TGIF, he says. Yes, sir. Isam is with us. Thank you. Let's see, whom else? So who else or whom else? I'm saying whom else, but I feel like whom is such a neglected word in the English language that I have to resurrect it. Let's see. No name. Hello. Luke Malone. What's up, Luke? Good to see you. This alert popped up. I'm glad it popped up. Mary. What's good, Mary? Good to see you. Thank you for being here as always. We got Allison with us. Hello, Allison. How are you doing? How are you? We've got Trevor in the house. Hello, Trevor. We got Tim in the house. My daughter Emmy and I are hanging out and enjoying this fine end to the week. Happy Friday. Hello, Tim, to you and your daughter. And hi, Emmy. Thank you guys for joining us. All right. So I talked about tonight's topics. There's actually quite a bit of topics to cover. This happens. It starts off as a really slow toy news week, and then like Wednesday comes along, and then it's like boom, boom, boom. So there's been quite a bit in the last few days. Not to mention the trailer I mentioned for Tales of the Underworld and Camp Cretaceous. Chaos Theory, Jurassic World Chaos Theory is out now. The new season, I think season 3 is on Netflix now. So lots happening, lots going on. But what do you guys say we get this show on the road? Let's get things started here. All right. Let's do it.
Now this is pod racing.
All right. Returning to the Cantina for the second time, we have the one and only Jedi.Lex. Hello, Jedi.Lex. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm great. Happy to be back on. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on and hanging out with myself and the Cantinians tonight.
Yeah, excited. Lots of great topics, lots of news, and some unexpected things. So it'll be fun.
Totally. And I got the green going tonight in honor of you.
Oh, nice. I feel very honored. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I know last time you were on, we had a really good time. It was a lot of fun and hanging out and talking toys and Star Wars. I think we were talking Acolyte at the time. And yeah, it's just great to have you back. You bring a great vibe to your videos and your content and your YouTube. And we have them linked down below. So anyone that is visiting can just click down here in the description. It'll take you guys to her YouTube. It'll take you to her Instagram. But yeah, no, thank you for being here. And I think we're going to have a good time.
Absolutely.
All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at our topics tonight. So we're going to start off with the very first one, and that is the Mondo Ghostbusters, Winston and Sandman. So, this is a line that was announced last year, and it's an interesting line, right? Because it's a 6-inch line, but it is very, it's very like discerning collector oriented, right? These are very like pricey figures. If you buy the 2 packs, they're like $200. If you buy the singles, they're like $100. They're not cheap, but they're targeting a very like specific segment of collectors, and it really works for them because this is a line that just has never existed properly in the 6-inch scale before. Somehow or another, it just hasn't existed. So they're bringing some pretty cool stuff to the table when it comes to the real Ghostbusters finally getting their due in 6-inch. So I'm going to jump over to Toy Shiz's Instagram page, our pal Toy Shiz, who we had on the show a few months back. And I'm going to poach his picture here from recent, where it had that figure as soon as I can locate it. He's a busy guy. He's got a bunch of stuff on his page. So it might take me a minute to find the exact image, but here we go. But it's really cool stuff. While I look for it, Lex, how familiar are you with the real Ghostbusters cartoon from the late 80s?
I'm not super familiar with it, but I did kind of when you sent me the list, like looked them up, and they're very like interesting looking figures. Like they look like they literally popped out of like a comic book. So I think they're pretty cool looking. Definitely a little bit more on the pricey end for the size, but I think they look really cool, and I like the color palette that they're kind of going with. So I think it works.
Totally. Like this looks really good. And yeah, I mean, it looks like they jumped out of the animation. And Ghostbusters live action has had 6-inch figures. Like Hasbro's been doing a lot with that in recent years. Not a lot with it, but they've been doing a fair bit. And then Mattel had the license before them. And then Diamond Select was doing 7-inch versions around the time Mattel was doing them. But now this is, Mondo is more of like a niche brand when it comes to collectibles. They're doing things of a higher caliber, I suppose. They're trying to go for high quality, and they're trying to go for accuracy. So, and more limited runs than you might see from a bigger company like McFarlane or Mattel or Hasbro. But yeah, so Winston here comes with Sandman. Sandman being one of the villain ghosts from the series. If you get the 2-pack, you do get both of them. And if you just get Winston, you will get this smaller ghost here. This is the Charles Foster Hearst ghost. So it's a fun little bonus if you're just getting the mainline character. But if you want to go deluxe, get yourself Sandman as well. It's a very large figure. Winston is 6 inches, and I believe they had said that Sandman was like closer to 8 inches. He's like a pretty large-sized ghost. Large-sized ghost, and I like my ghosts. So yeah, pretty cool set. I'm not sure exactly when this is going to drop. I hope that they hold off on it because in February I pre-ordered the last set, and there's going to be at least 4 of these sets. And first set, second set. This is the third set, and I hope that they wait a little bit because with their pre-orders they take payment right away, and it's kind of nice to have a little bit of a more of a buffer between releases and be able to save up for pricier purchases like this. Let's see here. So Rick says, I'm all in on the Mondo Ghostbusters. The main cast and villains are so well done and are so tune accurate. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're really nice. They're really nice. I'm going to need to dedicate like a piece of real estate for all of these when they start shipping.
How limited are they? Like, is it like 500 packs? Like, or not too sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not like a predefined number. It's more like they base it on the amount of pre-orders they receive. That's why you pay up front, because they say, okay, well, if 1,000 customers bought these, then we're going to make 1,000, and I don't know, 1,200, let's say, and then the rest go to Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toy Store, wherever. Yeah, so I'm not sure. They haven't released like any figures in terms of like sales numbers. Tron Ares trailer tomorrow. Nice. We'll be looking for that. All right, so let's go ahead and switch topics. Next thing here, as I mentioned earlier, SH Figuarts is doing a General Grievous. So I'm going to jump back to their page and look for their General Grievous, another page that just puts a lot of stuff up. And usually I like to pre-save these like before I go live, but as I was telling Lex earlier, I was having some tech issues that was preventing me from doing that. But we haven't really gotten a look at the figure. It's more like a silhouette of like an outline of Grievous. But it is cool to see that they're building out on that line. As far as the SH Figuarts, Lex, have you been into those to any extent?
I know of them, and when I do like my collectibles videos, I try to include them. I haven't personally collected any of the figures, but I am a fan of them. Like, I think they look cool. I just am trying to figure out my space and where I'm at with figures. So I've tried to kind of hold off, but some of the ones that they announced, especially for Celebration, have been very, very tempting.
Yeah, I know. It's when they started, like, I guess it was like 2016 16, 17 maybe. It was like a really small line, right? They started, I think, with like Darth Maul and then some of the New Hope core characters. And it was a really, really small line. Then they just like exploded with like Rogue One and some of the, they didn't do a lot for like the sequel trilogy, but they did a few. They did like the main character, some of the main characters. And at that time, they were like way better than Black Series, like during that time frame. But then in the last few years, like Black Series has exceeded, I would say, what SH Figuarts does. And, when Black Series is exceeding them at a third of the price, it makes it hard to justify spending that much more on an import figure. That's already going to be a little harder to obtain as it is. But yeah, so here's General Grievous. This is one that Hasbro has tackled. What's it going to be like? Is it going to be of a higher caliber than the Black Series? I don't know. Right now, we only have the silhouette to go off of. I do know the Black Series one was kind of hard to stand. Like I always had problems with him toppling over. So I hope that whatever they do with this, like if they can fix that one problem, I don't really do a ton of 6-inch these days for Star Wars, but if they can fix that one problem with getting him to balance, then for me that would be enough to want to buy him.
Yeah, he seems like he's just a very top-heavy character, and then especially if you add like all the lightsabers and stuff, I can totally see how the weight is not proportionate.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it'll be neat to see. At least it looks like he's gonna have a cloak. I assume he's gonna have the lightsabers, and he'll be a pretty neat offering here. But yeah, go ahead and close out of this. And let's go ahead and look at Marvel Legends. So Marvel Legends had a live stream, as I was saying, this week. And there were some things that were shown. So I guess we'll start with the Thunderbolts figures. I could spend a lot of time on these, but I do kind of want to look at them. It's funny because when this movie was announced, I know people were saying like, "Oh, okay, they're making a movie with all the peg warming Marvel Legends figures that nobody bought," which a fairly accurate assessment there. But I mean, I don't know how popular these figures are going to be or how well this movie is going to do. But I mean, that aside, like just looking at the figures themselves, like they look pretty good to me. They look pretty good. Probably not going to pick these up. I do have some versions of some of these characters from previous iterations, but I mean, they got to support whatever the new big Marvel movie is, right? I mean, they're going to do that.
Bob? I don't even know who that character is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really following like a whole lot of it. Maybe he's the villain. I'm not really sure. I think he might be the villain, but yeah, they look neat. The one that I was particularly excited about though was this right here. This is one that more speaks to me because it's Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and they don't do a lot for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man anymore. But yeah, I feel like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies are kind of, in a way, they're kind of like the prequel trilogy because they came out around the same time, and Spider-Man 3 in particular was fairly unpopular with a lot of fans. It didn't do as well as the first two, and certainly it wasn't as critically acclaimed as the first two. For some fair reasons. But it's kind of like the prequels in the sense that a lot of fans have come around to Spider-Man 3, and now we're actually starting to see more products being made from that movie. Like Hot Toys did this version of Spider-Man with the Black Venom suit. It went up for pre-order, I think, last year, and now Hasbro is following suit with their own version. So for me, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see that they're going back to that well and building out collections from those older films. Yeah, so what else do they have here? A few odds and ends. So another another Wolverine. Got a Mystique Target exclusive. So they always do well with their X-Men. New She-Hulk. And these are comic based. Another 2-pack. Madam Mask and Crossbones. Yeah, and this is from Fantastic Four, the She-Hulk figure. There's a Maximum Series Hulk. Interchangeable head portraits, which is kind of neat to see. Yeah, so quite a bit. The only thing that I'm going to be getting though is probably just this right here. I mean, hopefully Thunderbolts is cool. I'm not like jumping off the roofs like hyper excited for it or anything. I'm more excited to see Revenge of the Sith returning to theaters, honestly. But you know, I'll check it out anyway, and hopefully it's decent. But yeah, the Spider-Man is exciting for me.
Probably wait till it comes out on Disney Plus. I mean, I watch all the Marvel movies just cause, but lately the newer ones I've kind of struggled with a little bit. But I do think the Thunderbolts will be interesting because it kind of seems like the misfit characters all put into one. So I think that could be cool, but I'll probably wait. But Tobey Maguire, he's my dad's favorite Spider-Man, so I totally understand where you're coming with that one.
Yeah, he's my favorite too. You kind of aged me a little bit, but
Sorry, I'm an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man girl, but Tobey Maguire, like those initial Spider-Man movies, like me and my dad used to watch together all the time, aside from Star Wars. So I do have an appreciation for those movies, and I'm glad that like finally
nice.
people are coming around and making figures and showing it the love it deserves.
Yeah, totally. That's really great for me to see. And yeah, so William says, I have some shelf space dedicated for the Mondo Ghostbusters, pre-order all of them so far, and plan on at least completing the 4. To the Ecto-1 HasLab 2. Very nice. Yeah, that'll be a great setup, having the Ecto-1 and then those 4 figures and the ghosts. S-Beam is with us. Hello. We got Alex with us. Hi. We have Cujo with us. Hello. We've got... Very cool. Goth Toby, yeah, that was fun. Britt says, still waiting for another wave of X-Men 97. Yeah, you and me both, Britt. Like I'm waiting to see what they do for the next. Like I think initially it was only planned out as 2 waves, and they were kind of caught off guard by how overwhelmingly successful reviving that series ended up being. That they didn't have anything else in the pipeline at the time. But as I understand it, there will be more coming. It just there's going to be a bit of a delay. Cool. So we'll go ahead and let Spider-Man go. And we will take a look at some hot toys. All right, so let's jump over to Hot Toys on Instagram for some pictures of this new stuff. Okay, so this is a Star Wars Celebration exclusive. I'm not going to Celebration. Lex, are you going by any chance?
I am. My first celebration, my first time in Japan, so I'm very excited.
Oh yeah, have a blast. Like I really wanted to go. I've been to Japan a couple of times and I just adore it. I would live there if I could. But yeah, just have a blast. Celebration is just, I love that Celebration, like contrasting it to like Comic-Con, for example. Like Celebration is like it just being Star Wars, like takes it to like a whole other level for me. Like it's just like everybody that is there wants to be there because they're Star Wars fans. So just positive energy. So yeah, just have a blast and definitely take advantage of being immersed in that energy.
I am very excited. I think it'll be cool to kind of just be Star Wars. Like everywhere you look is just Star Wars, and I'm very excited. A little bit overwhelmed, but I'm very excited.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let me know if you need any like food recommendations or anything, because I love it there. I really do.
Okay, I will definitely take you up on that because I'm still trying to figure out some stuff. I think I'm going to try to hit Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. And then the convention's like kind of outside of Tokyo a little bit. So I'll definitely get some recs from you.
Nice. Yeah. You'll have to hit Toy Sapiens for sure. That's like the coolest store. Like it's just, they have all kinds of stuff, but they also have like hot toys, like
Oh,
Tons of them on display, like Star Wars and all the different lines that they make. So yeah, definitely a great spot to hit up.
nice.
But here we got the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper. This is an exclusive. This is a very interesting exclusive because I don't think they've done anything quite like this before. Not only is it adorned with cherry blossoms on its armor, but it's also wearing a kimono. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing that, I was kind of griping the other day that, Galen Urso is another Hot Toys that they're going to have at Celebration. It's an exclusive. And to me, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense because it's a whole new character that's never been released in their main line. And, it's a very limited release. If you're not there, you're probably gonna have a hard time getting it. But something like this makes like perfect sense for that kind of a convention, right? Because it's not something like a must-have, right? It's a stormtrooper, but it's a very specific stormtrooper that is, dressed up for the occasion. So I feel like this is like what an exclusive should be. It should be something like, kind of, different, but also still fun and really nice looking. Something like this.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I was kind of shocked at the same. I kind of thought a lot of the exclusives and things that they were going to announce were kind of going to have that like flair to it, like the cherry blossoms, samurais, like, just a little bit more of that. And I feel like this is really the first thing that we've gotten that is kind of like in line with that. But I think it looks really cool, and I'm kind of hoping that they announced it with enough time, like maybe someone who was going to go as a stormtrooper, like in cosplay, maybe like painted some cherry blossoms on it. I think that would be really cool to see in person, but I think it looks really cool. I definitely am very excited about this one.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice. I love the decoration on it. I mean, it's again, and it's not like a must-have kind of thing, but it's like a special kind of thing that is really, it really hits the nail on the head in terms of the occasion it's intended for. But yeah, are you gonna try and pick this one up?
I think so, but I'm also trying to figure out my space situation because I thought the Darth Vader also looked really cool. But then they also announced another one that's on our list to talk about. So I have to be very choosy, I think. But honestly, I really like this one. Like I'm very tempted to pick it up. I feel like it would commemorate like my first celebration and my trip to Japan, like all in one.
Yeah,
So I
it
think this one
totally
would be
would.
perfect. But the other two are very tempting. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, since you brought it up, we talked about it last week, but here is the for those that weren't with us, here's the dueling effect version of Darth Vader. And the consensus seemed to be that, it is another one that makes sense as an exclusive because if you have Darth Vader, this isn't one you need. It's like a variant, which is great for any kind of an exclusive, having a variant of a specific character. But I think the consensus last week was that that if you have a Darth Vader already, you could just use lighting effects to recreate this. But still, it's a cool variant. I think it looks neat. I think they did a pretty good job replicating that sort of lightsaber effect look. But then you kind of need something with a blue lightsaber, I feel like, to go with it because he does have like blue and red on his reflecting off his armor.
Yeah, it kind of gives like that like retro look, but it makes me just think of like the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and like that scene where he's like talking as Anakin and it's blue, then he's talking as Vader and it's red, and I feel like that kind of
Yep.
commemorates it really well. But I'm sure you could definitely get the same effect with like just lighting if you already had like a Darth Vader figure. So it makes sense. But I thought it was like a cool little twist.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about, and I don't even think I made a, oh yeah, I did. I caught it in time. Let's talk about one of the others I think you were alluding to.
It was.
And that is Darth Maul concept art version exclusive. This is a deep cut, but it's also a really cool deep cut. This has actually been made by Hasbro back in I think 2001. I want to say they did this in the Power of the Jedi collection, and it was actually a really hard to find figure. Like I remember it being a tough one to find. I found it maybe like once or twice, as I recall, and it was different. It's like okay, like at that time. all you had was the original trilogy and the Phantom Menace when that toy line was out. So they relied a little bit on concept art for the action for some of the figures in that line. Like they did this one, they did a Qui-Gon Jinn in like some kind of armor, and then they did Obi-Wan Kenobi in like cold weather gear, and these were just concept like arts for Phantom Menace, and then they did this Darth Maul. And since then we haven't seen it, as far as I can remember, in any other capacity for merchandise. But here it is again, resurrected by Hot Toys as an exclusive that will be available at Star Wars Celebration. And no doubt is probably going to be very high demand.
Yeah, I've seen a few other collectors that are going that are like super pumped about this announcement. I didn't even know that they had like done this kind of like concept in another line, so I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's just something special about it, and it looks cool. I mean, who doesn't love Darth Maul? Like, he's such a cool Sith.
Yeah, it's Darth Maul. I mean, like honestly, like any version of Darth Maul is going to be cool. You know, you have your iconic version from the Phantom Menace and the black outfit, and then you have like the Clone Wars and the solo versions. But like any version of Maul, you know, tends to do pretty well, and I think this is going to be a pretty popular one this year.
For sure.
Better Ray Bob has a suggestion for you. If you get too much at Celebration, they sell affordable extra luggage at Don Quixote to pack your souvenirs in. Yeah, that's a store there's several of them around town, and you got to check one of those stores out because it's just, they have like absolutely everything you could possibly think of in these stores. Like some of them are like 4 stories high. Like you go in and there's like different levels, and they just have like all kinds of anything you can imagine they sell in those stores.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just to walk in.
My note.
Yeah, just to walk in and scope it out. Like, yeah, it's pretty wild. I'll just leave it at that. But yeah, no, this is cool. If you could only get one, Lex, which one do you think you would end up going home with?
At the moment, I'm leaning towards the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper because I feel like it's just very niche and like fits the occasion. I feel like the other two, especially the Darth Maul, might be harder to get. I'm really torn between like what I would do second, but I think I'm really leaning towards the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper. I think it's just like so unique. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I have to have anything, it would be that.
Yeah, I think that would be a wise one too. I think that's what I would do if I was there. I think that's the one I would pick up, even though I like the small. Even though Galen or so would be fun to have. I think you're right. I think the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper would be like the best one to go with.
Yeah, the Galen Ursa one kind of surprised me because there wasn't really anything. I mean, there's not really anything other than the Cherry Blossom Stormtrooper. I guess there's really nothing too special about the other ones to make it like a Japan Celebration exclusive. But I know some people really wanted the Galen Urso figure, and it's probably going to be very hard to get their hands on it now rather than if it was just like a regular release.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah, I mean, the images of this look good. Yeah, people are going to want this. I mean, the concept art too, like that this comes from, is really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely see this being. Look at the box.
The box even looks crazy. Oh, man. I have 2 buddies that I'm going with, and they were kind of like joking. They were like, we're going to get the Darth Maul, and like, I'm going to be the first one to do like the unboxing. And he was like in the hotel room, and he was like, well, I'm going to do the unboxing like in the elevator to the hotel room. And then he was like, nope, I'm going to do it like in the lobby. And then he was like, I'm going to do the unboxing on the floor, like as soon as I get it. And I was like, you guys are crazy, but like, I know you want this figure, so I'm hoping they get it. I'm going to be interested to see like who gets their unboxing and review out first.
Yeah, that'd be fun. If you do pick one of those up and you do end up, you know, getting it there at the convention and taking pictures and such, video, whatever it is, might I suggest while you're doing that to be sure you are enjoying a pack of Coolish while you are enjoying your figure. So Coolish is it's soft serve ice cream, but it's kind of like in a Capri Sun style like packet, and then it has like a twist cap on top, so you kind of sort of like drink it. But it's vanilla like flavored soft serve, and I know it sounds bizarre, but it's actually really good.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, I'm just prepared for my first 7-Eleven trip. I think it's going to be so great. I'm ready for the egg sandwich that everyone talks about.
Mm.
There's like things keep coming up on TikTok as I keep like searching it, but I'm so excited for my first 7-Eleven trip. Odd to say, I feel like I would never say that like here in America, like, oh my God, I can't wait to go to
Mhm.
7-Eleven. But in Japan, I am so ready. Like I think that's going to be
Oh,
like one of my first destinations.
it's a whole other animal over there. 7-Eleven and Family Mart too. They both have like they're nothing. Yeah, they're nothing like a 7-Eleven in the U.S. like at all. Like they're very clean, of course, and fresh foods. Yeah, like the fried chicken at either of those, Family Mart fried chicken or 7-Eleven. Yeah, the egg sandwich. Oh my God, the eggs. Oh man, I'm getting hungry. Yeah, so good, so good.
Mm.
Anyway.
Soy unagiri.
Yeah, if you like sushi, like that's the best place to get it too.
I do. I'm very excited to immerse myself in the cuisine. Like, I can't wait to have ramen, like just all the things, like fresh sushi, maybe like even treat myself to like some wagyu. Like, I don't know. I'm pumped.
Where else did you say you were going in addition to Tokyo?
Kyoto and Osaka.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I've been to both of those too, and Kyoto, yeah, it has like some like insanely good like wagyu places, Kobe beef, like really really good. Osaka, they're known for something called the it's like an octopus ball. It's like a fried like battered uh I know it sounds weird, but it's like kind of like a giant hush puppy sort of thing, but it has like a octopus inside it, and then they like deep fry it.
interesting.
Yeah, Tokoyami, I think it's called, but it's really, really, really. I mean, I don't even like octopus, but like those, like I was really into. Like I had to eat it multiple times.
Gotcha. I've also seen in Osaka, I guess they have these like cheesecakes that they like brand with like their logo on the top of it that I keep seeing everywhere. So I might try to get my hands on one of those in Osaka, but I don't even know. I I'm gonna go with the flow. But yeah, I'm gonna fly into Haneda, spend like the day in Tokyo, bullet train out to Kyoto, do like a tour of like all the temples and stuff like that because I would love to also like see like a tea ceremony and stuff like that. Then I'm gonna bullet train or take a train to Osaka to do Universal, and I got tickets for like Super Nintendo World, which I think will be cool. And
Nice.
then head back towards Tokyo so I can go pick up like my badge and then spend the rest of my time there as well. So
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, thank you, Adam. Takoyaki, that's what it is. Octopus balls. But yeah. Anyway. So that is the Hot Toys Darth Maul. There is another Hot Toys I want to cover because we just got blogger photos this week. So let's jump back over here and see from the Ahsoka Disney Plus series. We have Ahsoka Tano blogger photos of the final product. So this is the final production piece that is presumably it's going to be shipping pretty soon here. As soon as you get these blogger photos, the figures tend to release in like in Asia. And then of course in the US we get them kind of like last, feels like. But yeah, I mean, to me this looks a lot like the prototype back when they solicited the pre-orders. So yeah, no complaints here for me. I did pre-order this one because, you know, I feel like if you're gonna buy figures from the Ahsoka show, you kind of have to have Ahsoka. So yeah, no, I'm excited for her. I think she looks great.
yeah, she does. I love Ahsoka the White, especially like the live action version. And I actually am gonna meet her in Japan, and I got like a little plaque to sign, and I had him make it so like half of it was like Ahsoka the Gray at the beginning of the series, and then the other half was like Ahsoka the White.
Oh,
So
that's
I
cool.
think it's a great figure.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, she looks good. Were you cued into the Artisan Anakin like blogger photos that came out last week?
I did check them out. I mean, I follow Hot Toys because I'm just very interested in them. But I don't know. The one that really tempted me was like the Darth Vader, where like the cape was like all out to the side. But I've loved all the Anakin Skywalkers, but I feel like we've gotten quite a few in a short period of time. But
Yeah.
they all look amazing. Like I think the capability of Hot Toys to really create these actors like as these characters, and like just the detail that they can put into them is absolutely insane, and it just gets better and better.
Yeah, definitely. Um, they are really cool. They are really cool, but it is definitely a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But
So is
yeah,
everything it feels in collecting, unfortunately.
right. Yeah, it's true. Absolutely true. But yeah, no, she looks great. Can't wait. Can't wait.
I even just like love the base to it. Like sometimes I feel like the bases can be a little like plain, but I feel like that one is really cool. Like it's got the
Yeah.
whole like situation to it. Like I think it just looks awesome.
Yeah, it does. Like this photo right here, like when you see the base, because most of the time Hot Toys bases are just like black, right? They're like very plain. But
Yeah.
like this definitely it fits. Like it feels like a good match for the colors of the figure.
Yeah.
It even
100%.
has like the top of it even has like a little like right there you can kind of see a little world between worlds sort of thing, or a temple sort of thing going on.
I forget what it's called, but it's like the piece of the star map
Yeah,
situation where they were like trying to figure out Peridia. So I feel like it
right.
totally looks like they just took it out of that scene, especially the photo with her and like the Balin figure. Like that could be really cool to pose together.
Yep. Yeah, so cool.
Love it.
All right, so that'll do it for Hot Toys, I think, unless something pops up on their page before we, during this show. But we're gonna move it over to Mattel Jurassic reveals because it actually ended up being a very busy week for Jurassic. It hadn't been, but out of nowhere, it ended up being kind of pretty heavy on Jurassic reveals. So jumping over to Instagram. To our friend Tim over at Collect Jurassic. We're going to go to his page and we are going to pull some of these images. So we'll go ahead and share this over there. Okay, and we are going to start with I guess what was the big news this week. 2 Hammond collection items that went up for pre-order from Target. There wasn't really any indication these were going to be available this week, but lo and behold, here they are. So the Hammond collection, Lex, is kind of like Mattel's like collector geared assortment for the Jurassic World line that they run. The dinosaurs are meant to be more articulated. The paint detail is supposed to be a little bit more detailed. The sculpts are a little bit more accurate. So that's what they're trying to go for with Hammond Collection. But there's 2 of them that were put up for pre-order this week. The first one is the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. This is one that people have been asking for a long time and waiting for. Well, finally, they're doing it, and I must say that this looks leagues better than the mainline one that came out back in 2018, which was a whole episode. Like, geez, it was a whole major, yeah. There were hashtags, yeah. It was not because it looked bad. at the time it was okay. It was that it was just so hard to obtain. And there was just a lot of drama like around that whole topic. But yeah, this is the collector version, the Hammond Collection edition. They did a really nice job. I mean, I honestly, looking at this, I think from a sculpting perspective, it looks freaking beautiful. The paint detail is really nice. I understand there are some paint applications that are not shown in these photos that may be missing on the final product. Mainly, there should be some blue paint like on the sail on its back. But I mean, in context, like everything else just looks really, really good. The bendable tail, all the articulation, like it just looks incredible. This is going to be a really exciting release.
It looks like super textured too. Like even like the skin of the what is it, Spinosaurus?
Yeah. Yeah, they did a really nice job. I hope that the final product looks just as good as this, because if it does, then yeah, it's going to be probably easily like a top 5 like Mattel Jurassic dinosaur, I would say. And they've made like hundreds. I don't even know how many they've made. It's well over 100 dinosaurs since 2018 that they've done. So really exciting. The only one that supersedes this for me, though, is my friend the Stegosaurus, my favorite dinosaur. Because Hammond Collection is also doing Stegosaurus. Finally. And, you know, again, looks really nice. They're doing these glass eyes that they do on the Hammond Collection figures. So they've gotten better. The glass eyes previously did not look very good at all. They were really dark, and like they would almost get lost. Like you couldn't really see them unless you had them like out in the sunlight. But they're doing better with them because they're actually like painting them a little bit differently, like brightening them up. So definitely an improvement here. But yeah, Stegosaurus looks nice. Lots of articulation. I love the contouring for the paint, how it goes from like the dark green on top to like more of the brown in the center and then more of the cream color on bottom. Like it's a very nice transition of colors. Yeah, it looks really cool. They've only done one Stegosaurus somehow since 2018 in their main line, and they repainted and retooled it a bunch of times. But you know, it's about time that they've done a proper Hammond Collection version. There were some complaints that this isn't 100% accurate to the Lost World Jurassic Park. It's more in line with the more recent Jurassic World films, which, interestingly enough, portray a somewhat less scientifically accurate Stegosaurus than the Lost World did in 1997. But it's pretty close. To me, it's pretty close. It's not that far off. I really like it. I'm probably gonna get a couple of them, I would say, and I mean it's a herd animal, right? So you probably got to have a couple, but yeah, I'm really excited for these. I'm really excited for these two figures, because these are like, especially for me, like personally, like the Stegosaurus, that's one that I've been like just waiting on. My only hope is that it's not undersized. Because they did do a Triceratops. It was one of the very first Hammond Collection items, and it was a little bit too small. So my only hope with this one is that it's not, it doesn't suffer the same situation.
I mean, it seems pretty sizable, but it's always hard to tell, like via pictures, until you kind of see it in hand, or like comparatively to something else.
Right. Yeah. It is kind of hard to tell. I think we would need to see them side by side. I know there's a video out there. I almost or accidentally clicked on it, but the problem when I accidentally click on videos, I get like copyright issues. So I'm not going to play that. But it is on the Collect Jurassic Instagram. But yeah, no, it's these are two very exciting releases. Really exciting. Dodson says the Spino is missing the blue patterning, but not gonna lie, it's not a total buzzkill. Yeah, I feel the same. Like, would be nice if it was there, but it doesn't take away from how cool of a dinosaur it looks. Britt says from Spino Gate to Spino Great. Yes, finally a positive situation. Dodson also says was glad to set an alarm for 6 a.m. and managed to pre-order both through Target. I agree with the fillings on the Stego. Hopefully my same feelings will change once it arrives. Yeah, I did not, because that's the day that I was at Disney on Wednesday night. I was there all the way until like the night, until like closing basically, and then I got home and it was like after midnight I was home, and then there was no way I was going to get up at 5 a.m. for these, which is the time they went up on my side of my area. But yeah, so I missed the pre-order, but that's okay, because I'm not going to have a hard time getting these. We never do. But yeah, the $15 off coupon, that was a nice aspect of this particular pre-order release. So let's see, what else do we have for Mattel Jurassic? Well, there is an image here. I know it's kind of small. But it kind of shows like an overlay of the different dinosaurs that are going to be in the first wave from the new Rebirth movie that Mattel's doing the line for. But yeah, some of the smaller guys, and again, I know they're kind of hard to see, and they kind of blend in because they paint all their dinosaurs the same colors. But some of these are the old sculpts that really need to be retired. Like that Monolophosaurus is old. This one looks kind of weird to me. Like, I don't know, it's like the placement of the eye, but it just looks a little creepy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. This Proceratosaurus, that is a really, really old one. That needs to be retired. This guy is new, I believe. This guy, I believe, is new as well. But again, the coloring isn't very inspiring there. Again, greens and browns. I think this guy is new. I don't remember if he's been released before. This is a very old sculpt. This one should not exist anymore. It should be tied to the back of a rocket and launched into space and never seen again. But and there is a really cool video. Again, I'm not gonna play. There it is. Okay, haha. I'm not gonna play the video because I don't want to get copyright strikes. We can take a look at the packaging though for the Bite and Blast Mosasaurus, which we did talk about in a previous episode. And this is, I really like the packaging for this movie. It kind of, it has those vibes to the Kenner Jurassic Park line with the red. But it is a little bit, it's modernized. So I like it. I think it looks nice. Looks nice enough. Did I miss anything here? There's this horrible dinosaur that we're not going to watch the video for again. I tortured everybody with that one already. Okay, so there were these as well. Please don't be a video. Oh man. So these are Takara Tomy figures, which you can find these in Japan. If you go to like Bic Camera is another department store that has like all kinds of things. But they do carry these in their toy store, in the toy sections. They're the Takara Tomy figures. They're basically like small, like 4 or 5 inch long dinosaurs. But they have a lot of articulation. They're pretty nice. So yeah, I don't know when those are going to be out, but we can see them here. What else? Okay, some packaging here for other animals in this line. Quetzalcoatlus, not a dinosaur, flying reptile, but there's the packaging. Again, looks nice to me. We have a Baryonyx. This one actually has a better coloring. I think it's like an orangey. Kind of reminds me of like an orange starburst. It looks better though than green and brown. Like it just stands out a little bit more. I dig it. We have a Notsutoceratops. They've only released one Notsutoceratops in the line, so adult one anyway. And that was years ago before the pandemic, so it's been a long time. So it's nice to see a new version. I don't know if this is a retool or all new. I'm not sure. And then we have packaging for Maiasaura, which is a character debut or a species debut rather than for this toy line, because they've never done a Maiasaura before. And I think it's a really nice species of dinosaur. It's a hadrosaur. But yeah, I think that is about it. What is this? Oh, it's a poster, an official poster. Interactive 3D standee for Jurassic World Rebirth. Very nice. Very nice. What else? What is this? What is this? Oh, this is like for Jurassic World Singapore at Universal. Nice. Yeah, they get all the good stuff over there. Like even the Jurassic Land at Universal Studios. As you're gonna see if you go there, Lex, it's the Jurassic area is really, really cool. It's way better than the one in here in Hollywood.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna try to work my way around Universal.
Yeah, it's really neat. I went there the first time I went to Japan back in 2017, and it was yeah, like the Harry Potter land is even better than the one they have at the Universal here. At least the one in Hollywood. Like it's like it's like the one in Hollywood, like the Wizarding World there, like it's just you walk like down the main path and like boom, it's right there. You see the whole thing. But in Japan, it's like there's a barrier where you can't see it from like the main like walking path. You have to go through like a forest, and it really sets the scene and sets the tone for Wizarding World. That way when you get there, it's like you feel like you appeared in a whole brand new like land. It's not just like boom. It's not like in Hollywood, it's just like it's right there. It's like there's no transition. It's just like it's right there. But yeah, that's one thing they did really, really nicely over there. Cool. Does that cover all the dinosaurs? I think so. We have a few posters. We have a poster here. We have another poster here. And we have a poster here. But I think that's it. I think that's it. If you guys want to see more, you want to watch the video, the toy commercial is really cool. Again, I'm going to click on it for like 0.2 seconds. Like the toy commercial is really cool. It has like 90s vibes. It has like really cool 90s vibes. Let's see here. Allison says the Jurassic Land in Florida is pretty cool. Yeah, I would say it's better too over there. Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, I think that covers the Mattel Jurassic stuff. So I guess our next topic is going to be Tales of the Underworld. So let me go ahead and let's go ahead and pull that up here. So I'm going to jump over to StarWars.com so we can get a very nice look at the poster for the series. Now, I was not expecting this series. Lex, what about you? Had you heard any indications that this was coming?
I hadn't, but I had actually had one of my buddies, Grayson, on for an episode of Beyond Tatooine on, I think it was Saturday, and we were talking about it, and I was like, oh, like, I bet you we're going to get, like, another Tales of, like, whatever for May 4th. And he was like, no, like, I think they're going to announce, like, Visions, like, Season 3. Like, I think that's what'll drop, because it seems like that's what they've been doing. Like, Vision Season 1, Tales of the Jedi, Vision Season 2, Tales of the Empire. And I was like, you know, it does make sense for Visions, but my initial thought was we were going to get another Tales of. So I was actually, he had convinced me we were going to get the Visions Season 3 for May 4th. And then I saw this and I was kind of shocked. I was like, wow, I might have been onto something and I didn't even know it. So very pleasantly surprised, but I do really enjoy getting these like short, I wish they were longer, but I do enjoy it. I feel like it's a cool little thing to do on May 4th. Like if you really don't have anything else to do and you want to celebrate, I feel like it's a cool little way to kind of just, you know, watch, and they're short enough that you can probably knock it out in like maybe 2 hours, 3 maybe if they're 30 minutes, but most of the time I feel like they're 15 to 20. So I definitely am excited. I think it, you know, gives you something else to look forward to on May the 4th.
Yeah, no, I highly agree. It's a nice little piece of Star Wars to have, to celebrate May 4th. And I think the same was true for the last ones, right? Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Empire. They both came out, I think, around July 4th, May the 4th in previous years. So, yeah, I mean, the timing works. It's great to have a nice little bit of Star Wars content that revisits some of these animated characters like Cad Bane, like Asajj Ventress. And yeah, I watched your reaction video yesterday that you had up reacting to this. And yeah, I mean, it's exciting. I mean, these are characters we've known now for a really long time. Clone Wars came out in 2008. And, you know, throughout that series, we got introduced to both of these. But it looks like there's going to be other characters that are going to be interwoven into the various episodes that we're going to get to revisit. But yeah, no, it looks pretty solid. I'm excited.
It does, and I'm assuming they're gonna do like the two separate arcs that they typically do, like 3 episodes of Cad Bane, 3 episodes of Asajj. But I love animated Cad Bane, so I think it'll be really kind of cool to kind of see like maybe his origin story and like what got him into bounty hunting, because it kind of looks like it happens during or before the Clone Wars, just like with the gunships and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In Asajj, it kind of clearly looks like it's around the same time as Bad Batch or post Bad Batch, so just because of like the yellow lightsaber. But I did see some people were speculating that the young kid with the saber was, oh my gosh, the guy that Jude Law plays in Skeleton Crew, Jod.
Nawid.
Yep. So I saw that and I was like, that's like an interesting take. I didn't really even think about that, but I saw that was kind of a speculation. I don't know how true that is, like with the timeline, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, could be interesting for sure. Because we haven't seen like a whole lot of his background, right? Like I know that they had filmed some stuff for it, but it didn't make it into the final cut. So yeah, it will be interesting to see like how that plays out. But yeah, this is a cool area to explore. I feel like you know, Tales of the Jedi, that did a really good job fleshing out some aspects of like the Jedi and like Count Dooku and all that, and Yaddle. But Tales of the Empire, you know, same thing, but focusing on the Empire. So Underworld is really cool, and I hope that this isn't the last of it. I mean, now that they're doing this, kind of makes me wonder, well, what else can there be tales of, right? Like, can there be like one about droids? Can there be one like about like Jabba's palace? Like how many different areas can they? I mean, I feel like you could take it like for a really long time and still using characters that people know and enjoy. So that's one exciting aspect of it for me.
Yeah, there was someone who like kind of posted like various possibilities. Like it was like a pretty long list, and it was like Tales of the Bounty Hunters, Tales of like just so many different options that they could go with. So I totally agree. Like I think this could just be like a newfound May the 4th tradition, like a Tales of series. But I know people have some gripes towards it, just like with it being so short, and they'd rather see it in a longer form. But I kind of just like the sweet and simple, like to the point that it kind of brings. But I don't know. I think it'll be cool. But it also looked like they were kind of showing Freetown from the Book of Boba Fett, like where we see Cad Bane appear in live action. So I'm wondering if there will be some kind of fill in the blanks when it comes to his story and how he ends up there.
That would be neat, and I would totally be down for seeing Cobb Vanth if they can like interweave him somehow. You know, just like you know, voice acted, of course, by Timothy Oliphant. Like that'd be like really cool. But yeah, no, exciting stuff. I don't really have a lot to add to that, but it's great that it's coming, and it'll be smack dab in the middle of Andor, right? So we'll have two shows to enjoy simultaneously, which is kind of rare, but also kind of nice. Because I'm ready for some new. I'm ready for some. It's been a while since Skeleton Crew wrapped, right? So I'm ready for some new Star Wars.
I definitely am too, but I think Andor is going to send a lot of the creators into the trenches with the 3 episodes a week. I mean, you're practically watching a movie every week, but I think it'll be cool. Like, I'm just excited for any new Star Wars content. I always try to go into it with an open mind. You know, new content, new Star Wars. Like, you know, you can choose to hate it if you want to later on, but I just always try to be open minded about it, and I'm very excited for Andor. It looks super fast paced, super like just a lot of moving parts, so I think that'll be cool. And then we're getting this like, you know, cool little Tales of the Underworld, different perspective, like the nitty gritty of, you know, 2 bounty hunters that we know and love. So I think it's going to be a great next couple months.
Yep, totally agree. All right, so we are down to those are all the topics. Like we got through them pretty quickly, other than the final segment. But I'm not quite ready to just wrap it up quite yet. I mean, there's got to be more, right? So I'm going to turn to the chat. I'm going to turn to the chat and I'm going to ask you guys, what do you want us to talk about? Do you want me to rant about deluxe figures for original 96 characters that should not exist, that do exist? What do you guys want me to rant about? I'll rant about it. Let me know what you guys want us to talk about. There's still some time here, but I wouldn't quite say we were finished yet.
We're not done yet.
Got a few more things that we want to discuss, so let me know what you guys think here in the chat. But while we do that, what's been going on over on your channel lately, Lex? Like, what have you been working on?
So I finally, since I was last on, a lot of things have kind of happened. I graduated nursing school. I passed the boards. I'm officially a nurse now, so I'm working. I just got off orientation a couple weeks ago, so things are finally starting to settle down when it comes to like my professional life, and I'm very excited to finally now get back into content creating. So I'm going to try to get more regular with Beyond Tatooine episodes and having other collectors on. I'm really looking forward to this Japan trip. I think it'll be really cool. I'm going to try to document like everything that I do leading up to it, like, you know, my trips around Kyoto, Osaka, things like that, and then actually covering like Japan celebration itself. And then going forward, just going to try to focus on, you know, like conventions. I think Rebel Scum Con is in Texas or something like that. They just announced Sam Whitworth, so I think that might be a cool trip to go take in like August. I don't know, we'll see, but I don't know. I just want to try to get out there and travel a little bit more, and if it means traveling to other conventions, I think that'll be cool. And, you know, just trying to do more collectibles and things like that. I want to get this room kind of set in because I had to kind of push it to the side a little bit with everything going on, but I'm excited to kind of start getting things like hung up, and I want to get some new I don't even know what it's called at the moment. Displays. Like I want to try to pick up some of those like IKEA glass detofs from some people like on Facebook Marketplace. I think those are cool, but they're hard to find. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, those are hard to find since they discontinued them, but they replaced them with another model. But I mean, I don't like them as much personally, but some people prefer them to detofs. But it just depends on what you like. But I mean, yeah, they are hard to find. I have a detof that I have 3 in this room, but then I have one in my garage that I've never like assembled. I wanted to buy one before they discontinued it, just for like a rainy day. Because I know eventually I'm gonna need another one to set up, but the lighting is what sucks on those. Like the lighting like took me forever because I did it all myself, all the wiring for the lighting and everything, and it was just like it took forever, and I'm not looking forward to doing that again.
Yeah, lighting is something I need to do in here because I had puck lights prior and I haven't like put them back up, but I don't know. I feel like lighting is a cool way to kind of amp up your display, like, and just highlight the things that you have on your shelves, especially if you have things like that are kind of layered. But I don't know. It's tough, but it's very rewarding once you have it all figured out.
Yeah, definitely. When you can like stand back and admire all your hard work, all the shelves, all the scenes, all the I mean, anytime I feel like when a collector sets up their shelf, like that's representing like them. And I feel like a lot of collectors are like naturally just very creative and artistic. And like when you set them up and you create like a diorama, or even if you're just lining things up on a shelf, like it's kind of reflecting like those artistic abilities and those creative abilities.
100%. I mean, I do say it a lot, I feel like, but there's 2 aspects to collecting. There's like actually going and finding the figures, and then there's how you display it. Because I feel like there is such like an art and a craft to how you display your collectibles. And there's just a whole other side to collecting that, I mean, you could just keep it in the box and like put it up, or you can pose it, you could add lights, like you could just do so much to it. You could build your own dioramas. Like there's just so much stuff to do with it. And I feel like there is that really cool part of collecting that I love hearing and seeing. And that's why I do Beyond Tatooine, so I could see how other people display it and just the passion that they have behind it. So I just love collecting, getting the figures, displaying it. I think it's so cool. can be a little expensive at times, but it's why I love it.
Yeah, definitely. And that's something somebody mentioned here is something to discuss, display ideas. But yeah, I feel like when I work on my collection that it's always like, it's like a labor of love, but it's also it's like a stress relief, right? Like when I walk into the room and I can like just focus on taking all the figures off of a shelf, dusting it and reorganizing it. Like for me, that's just like I can just not think about everything that happened at work that day, and I can just focus on like what I'm doing in that moment. Put a YouTube video on in the background or put some music on in the background, or a podcast or whatever, and just kind of like be in my little zone working on my thing. Like for me, that's very therapeutic.
Yeah, I love coming in here. I finally have like my own dedicated room for my collectibles, and every time I come in here, I always just like there's just a smile on my face. Like I love seeing all the stuff I've accumulated and like the different memories that I have, like especially of my Legos, like building the Legos, and I have like the photo ops and stuff that I want to hang up like right in front of me so I can just look at those while I'm doing my content and just kind of remind myself of why I love Star Wars and why I love doing this. So it it's just great.
Yeah. And Allison, to answer your question, I do have a video from last year where I go through the whole collection. It's like a tour and you can kind of see where everything is, how I have it all displayed. Yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Before I forget, Lex, I do have a Japan video that I published last year as well.
Okay.
That has me like doing like stuff and like toy shopping and stuff like that, like just in case you needed to take a look at that. But another thing before I forget, I do try and remember to take like a screenshot just for for when I post the replay. So go ahead and assume any fun pose that you want, and I'll go ahead and take a screenshot right here. Yay.
Cool.
But oh yeah, I think that was the fireworks thing. I'm trying to remember last week. We tried to figure. Yep, there we go.
Thumbs up. Good.
There we go.
I think I have mine turned off. I don't know. It's fine.
I did too, and I was on somebody else's stream, and they're like, they said, "What? Oh, why isn't it working for you? Like, why isn't what working for me? Like the reactions." I'm like, "Oh, that's a thing," and I started like going through and like, "Oh, it is a thing," but it was off. But yeah, just see a couple of questions to mention here. So let's see, why is this? I have a little frozen thing on my. I have a little frozen window here, so I'm going to try and jump around it. All right, let's see. Question about if we talked about the Ronin Black Series. Yes, I did cover that during Cantina Coffee Hour last Saturday. Did you already cover the Hot Toys Anakin Artisan? I think we did. I think I talked about that last week or the week before. I don't remember exactly, but it sounds like maybe there's new photos. Let me take a look real quick. I'll jump back over to Hot Toys and see if there's anything.
Is it the one with like his poncho, or is that a different one? That might be a different one.
Let me see. So I don't see any new blogger photos on their Instagram, but we can definitely pull it up. Possibly if I can get this little error to clear. The joys of being live. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. Maybe I cannot. What happens is I have a window that's like blocking the share button, and I can't I can't clear it. So I'm not going to be able to share those pictures, but we can still talk about it. I mean, I think what I mentioned last time is that it looked better than it didn't look as good as the prototype images, like the master sculpt. But it definitely it looks good. Like I've been looking at some of the YouTube review videos because there are some now on YouTube, and I mean it looks great. I think it looks fantastic. It may have been lost a little bit of detail, but to me it still looks really nice. Lex, what is your grail?
Ooh, that's a good question. I've been into Legos recently. I've been trying to reclaim some of the sets that I had when I was younger. But I was able to pick up the Ghost and Phantom 2, which released, oh my gosh, it's probably like a year or so ago now. But I always have wanted the original one, like the original Ghost and Phantom, like with all the minifigs included. So I think that is my grail. As far as Funko goes, because I do have a lot of Funkos as well, I really want the duel on Mustafar with like Anakin and Obi, and I think it would be cool to have it signed at some point. But I've been moving away from having my Pop signed, and I've now started having. There's a guy named Ariel, AM Custom Plaques. I've been having him like print out plaques for me, and I've been getting those signed. A lot easier to transport, safer to transport. So I've been going with those, and they've been fun.
Nice. Message here from Bob about be careful not to overplan, which I think is good advice.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say to kind of just go with the flow sometimes. So I have very few things planned, but I do have like some tours planned because I thought it would be a little easier than me trying to finagle my way to all the temples and things like that. But we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, lots of cool stuff to find. Even if you just take a walk, like say, hey, I'm gonna walk down this way, just random, like you're gonna see something cool. Like you're just going to. Let's see here. PW1's asking favorite character, favorite toy line, and favorite vehicle. Oh, the trifecta.
Wow.
Lex, I'll let you go first. What do you think?
So, favorite character is always hard for me because when I was first introduced to Star Wars and I was younger, Anakin was always my favorite. And then as I grew a little bit, Ahsoka became my favorite, so it's very hard for me to put one over the other. It's almost kind of like they're one character. They are master and apprentice after all, so I would say those two. If I could pick two, if I had to pick one, I'd probably have to go with Anakin just because he was my first love, you know? But Ahsoka also holds a very special place in my heart. Favorite toy line? I don't know. Funko was like the first thing that I got into collecting wise. Lego has always kind of been a constant for me. Gentle Giants I've started getting into a little bit just because they're a little bit smaller statues and the mini busts and stuff, but I've been a big fan of the stuff that Sideshow has been doing lately. Like when it comes to hot toys, even that I was looking at it today, the Grand Admiral Thrawn like premium format figure with him sitting in the chair. I was like, man, like that's pretty cool. So Sideshow's been creeping up there. I'm definitely a huge fan of their work, but I think at the moment, favorite toy line is probably Lego. Favorite vehicle? I don't know. That's hard. There's a lot of really good vehicles out there. Man.
Yeah, there are.
I don't know if I can just pick one. Let me stew on it and I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I'll circle back.
For me, I guess I would say favorite character is Anakin. My favorite toy line, I would say the Vintage Collection. That's probably the one I'm most passionate about, although obviously I love other toy lines. And then favorite vehicle, Millennium Falcon. Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Greg says, I'll be getting figures signed by Hayden Christensen and Katie Sackhoff tomorrow at the Steel City Con. Super excited. Very cool. What Star Wars celebs have you met or autographs and photos?
You want to go first on that one?
Sure. So who have I met from Star Wars? Well, I guess the first one that I met, I guess, was Carrie Fisher, but that wasn't even like planned. That was just I know I've told the story a million times, but I was at Star Wars Celebration 4 in Los Angeles, 2007, and I was taking a break. I was in one. They had like several cafeterias there at the convention center, and I was in one of them. And I was just in line next to there was a lady next to me, a little bit shorter. I'm pretty short, but she was a little bit shorter. And she was wearing all black. And I said, I was talking to whoever was like serving the food. I was like, I'll take a hot dog, please. And then the lady was like, yeah, I want one too. So then, I didn't look at her. I just kept walking and, went down the line. It's like cafeteria style. So you have your tray, you're just like going down the line. She's like next to me. And then I go over to like the hot dog dressing station, if you will, where you're like putting ketchup and relish and mustard and whatever. And then she's over there too, doing the same thing. And then I started noticing like people start pulling out like smartphones were just kind of like the very beginning. So they were pulling out more like digital cameras. And I was like, oh, what's going on? And then like I looked at her, right next to me. I was like, holy crap, like it's Carrie Fisher, like right here. So, but she was really cool. And it was very, very brief, but she was very, very sweet. And then security like ushered her out fairly promptly after people noticed her. But that was my first. Amy Allen, Ayla Sakura, I met her at that convention as well. And she's going to be here on Social Hour, I think next month. We're going to have her on. And let's see, whom else? Ian McDiarmid. I met him at the last celebration. Pedro Pascal was there as well. Giancarlo Esposito was amazing. I'm sure I'm missing a couple other people that I can't remember off the top of my head, but specifically from Star Wars, I think those are most of them.
Pedro Pascal is like so high on my list. I was hoping he was going to make like an appearance at Celebration, but another time, I guess. I have quite a few autographs here. The first one that I ever got was Steve Bloom, who voices Zeb in Rebels. So he was really cool. And like he even talked to me in like Zeb's voice and everything. And he was like, Carabast. And I was like, oh, this was so cool. So that was really my first experience. At one of the cons, I got to meet the voice actors for Ezra and Hera. So Vanessa Marshall, Taylor Gray. I got at another con, Matt Lantern and Ashley Eckstein, who voice Anakin and Ahsoka in the Clone Wars. Got to meet Ray Park last May the 5th. I got a picture and autograph with Amanis Fondi at MegaCon last year. Got D. Bradley Baker's SIG and got a photo with Hayden. And then most recently, I got to meet Robert Timothy Smith, who plays Neil. So he was really cool and super sweet. And then I got to meet Matthew Wood, who voices General Grievous. So he was really cool.
Awesome. And you mentioned three that I forgot to mention too: Matthew Wood, Vanessa Marshall, and Ashley Eckstein. Like they were all fabulous. Vanessa Marshall was just by chance, like last year at Comic-Con. I was just walking through the Hasbro booth and she was in there like scoping out the toys. So I had a cool little chat with her. Yeah, so Adam's saying, curious to see what people think about the premium collectibles 1/3 Palpatine. We haven't talked about that, have we, Adam? So I did pull that up. Let's go ahead and take a peek. I was able to kind of fix things here, I believe. Yeah, like it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? This is like a whole other level of like collectible, right? It's not even, this is like serious business here. This is like a statue, it seems like, a Palpatine in the chair, but it's like hyper realistic. Yeah, it just, I can see why it's $1,700. I mean, it's a 1/3 scale. Like, first of all, 1/3. I mean, that's big. That's big. I don't know the exact size proportions on this, but 1/3 is like really, really big. But yeah, I mean, it looks really nice. It looks very, very, very nice, actually.
I like the base on it.
Yeah, the base is
cool. It has that like a scene to it.
Yeah, I dig it. Like a great display piece of like all you collected were like a few like really premium high-end Star Wars collectibles. But when you're mostly focused on like action figures and toys and stuff like that, like this kind of stuff makes a lot less sense. But it looks great. I'm glad you brought it to my attention, Adam, because I hadn't taken a look at this. And I mean, look at those hands. The hands are nice.
He's got Luke's saber too. Huh.
He does. You want this, don't you? Oh, he's gonna push the button with the other finger. Did you see that?
Oh,
that is cool.
It's like
Fire at will.
Super realistic.
Fabric looks really detailed, like a work of sculpting art. Oh, what's this? Oh, is that the back of the base? It has like a little like. Oh, are these are panels? I think on the base that you can pull off that reveal little scenes.
Got the Death Star, Senate.
Death Star, Senate, and then Endor. Yeah, that is really cool. And there's a light on it. Which, how does that light even really like serve any practical? He's blocking it with his cloak. Like, what's the point of it?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is really cool. Okay, here's the dimensions. 23 inches high, 18 inches wide, and 21 inches deep, I guess.
That's
depth
height to it. For sure.
That's like 2 feet. That's like, it's a good size. That's what I mean. Like something like this, if you were only collecting like a few like high-end like Star Wars statues, or you know, like this would be nice, but yeah, I don't got room for something like this. It's awesome though.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Did you order it, Adam? I'm curious if you took the plunge on this one.
If you did, I'll live vicariously through your collection.
Yeah. Seems. It's really neat. I'm glad we got to look at that. I'm very glad we got to look at that. William says, Mad Hatter and Nostalgia Unboxed roasted my display, but actually liked it, mostly TVC. I'm not really sure what you're referring to, William, but if they're not being nice, I'm sorry to hear that. See what else. Rant about needing more new aliens in the vintage collection. We need more aliens in the vintage collection. Like okay, the Cantina is coming. The Cantina is going to be available later this year, I believe. And if you're a newer collector who has not been at it consistently for the last 30 years since the mainline, the modern Star Wars toy line came back in 1995. If you're not one of those people, then you need access to some of those older Cantina aliens. And the only way for them to be made available without having to go to the secondary market, where some of them are very prohibitively expensive, is for Hasbro to re-release some of the older ones or to create new ones. So yes, we absolutely need more Cantina aliens in the vintage collection. Make it happen, Hasbro. Prequel trilogy aliens? Yeah, I mean, why not? I'll take more prequel trilogy aliens. Pico Yuan says, I'm searching for Luke, Stormy, Emerald City Comic Con. Still expensive. I'm trying to think of which one that is.
Is that the Funko Pop? Possibly.
Could be. Rick answered the question. Favorite character, Ahsoka. Favorite toy line, vintage collection. Favorite vehicle, Slave One. Nice. Peak Obi-Wan answered the question. Favorite character, Obi-Wan. Toyland Legacy Build-A-Droid. Solid pick. Favorite vehicle, the Sail Barge. Another solid pick.
Yeah. I think as far as my favorite vehicle, it's like such a niche vehicle, but I just remember it like so vividly. Like the opening of Revenge of the Sith where Anakin and Obi come in, like in their interceptors. I just love Anakin's. I had that set when I was younger and is one that I do want to like reclaim, but I don't know. Something about it. Like that scene just always sticks in my mind. So I think that's probably my favorite vehicle. Like super odd. It could be like the Venator, but I don't know. I just like his little ship. So
is it the Venator or the Venator? I don't know.
I don't know. I always said Venator. I also say Droidica. I know some people pronounce it differently as well too. So I've never claimed to be a great pronunciation person.
Yeah, it's one of the the great Star Wars mysteries, right? It's like AT-AT, AT-AT, or Tanav-4, Tanav-4. Like, I don't know.
Tomatoes. We know what you're talking about.
And potatoes. Adam says, the light is there so you could find the throne in the dark. I mean, yeah, I guess that would make sense.
That's true.
Ooh, Adam did pre-order the 1/3 Palpatine. Wow.
Sheesh, go Adam.
Wow, yeah. You deserve it, Adam. You deserve that. Good move. You're going to have to send photos, though. Maybe we'll have to have you on the show so you can talk about it when you get it. And you can show it to us.
Oh, it's probably got to be heavy, too. Like, for the size, like, that's going to be a cool piece to have in your collection, for sure.
Brian says, bring back Garandan. Yeah, a new Garandan, not the old one. We need a new one. Seriously, Star Wars says, hey, Lex.
Hey, Chris. What's up?
Peak Obi-Wan says that, yes, indeed, it was Funko.
Yeah, it's an expensive blue box. I think they have one of him and then Han, like, in the Stormtrooper outfits. And they're one of those pops that are like of the older runs, but they're pretty up there in price. So that would be a cool one if you could add to your collection, for sure.
Totally. Allison says, keeping with the theme, favorite character, Mara Jade, favorite line, vintage Kenner vintage rather, and favorite vehicle, the AT-AT or AT-AT. Pick your poison.
Mara Jade's a cool one. I feel like she's starting to become very popular. I feel like she was super niche, and now she's making her way into the main light. It's cool to see.
It's interesting. Adam says, I will show it to you from the car I'll be living in by that time. Oh, boy.
Fair.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, I think we are at a point where I think we can move on to our final segment. I'm not ready to move on to the final segment, but we can. And if there's other stuff that comes up, we'll talk about it. But yeah, I guess we can move into new acquisitions, things that we've been adding to our collection since the last show, last Saturday. New acquisitions, people.
Good. New acquisitions.
All right. So brand new stuff. So Lex, I'm going to let you go first. I always let the guest go before I do and before the audience. But while you're pulling up whatever you want to show us or tell us about, my friends in the chat, let us know what you've added to your collections recently, and we will read through them. We'll call them out. But Lex, do you have any show and tell for us?
Yeah, so I mentioned two of them prior. So I got my little Neil plaque, which is hard to see because it's in this like reflective situation. But there's my little buddy Neil. And then I also Matthew Wood, and I had him, he like added a quote on for free, which is crazy because I feel like most of the time you have to pay for it, but says a fine addition to my collection, voice of General Grievous, which I thought was really cool. And then this one was kind of unexpected, but one of the girls that I went to nursing school with reached out to me. and she was like, "Hey, Walmart sent me this, and I know that you like Star Wars, and I don't, but they aren't letting me return it." And she sent me the link for it, and it's an Ashton Drake collector's edition portrait figure, and it's
Ooh.
about $200. Like, it's a pretty, significant piece, I feel like, to not just like send out and then not take back. And she was like, "If you pay for shipping, like, I'll send it to you for free. Like, I don't want it." So she sent it to me, and it finally arrived, and I haven't really showed many people it, but I finally have like a Grogu.
Oh,
And
nice.
wonderful.
What a cutie.
He's adorable, and he has this little ball in his hand. So there's my little Grogu.
Love it.
And then my last one is actually something that I kind of put together, and I posted it on my Instagram. But I was inspired by another guy who kind of builds custom Lego pieces, and it's a little fragile, so we'll see. But I built a stand for my Bounty Hunter Pursuit
Oh, wow.
Lego set. And yeah, it's a little fragile, but that was a project I've been working on for a few months now, and
That's
it finally
awesome.
came together. So I'm gonna try to do more of those because it was a learning experience. I've never done something like that, but I would love to do more for some of the ships and things that I have back here to kind of make it feel a little bit more like in world, or like in a Lego Star Wars level, something like that.
That is awesome. That is really cool. Yeah, no, great job with that. Like, I love that. I want to see whatever else you work on in that area, because that's super cool.
Appreciate it.
For me, what do I got here? Okay, so the first one comes from Mesco Toys. This is from the 5 Points line. I got the Wednesday 2-pack here, Wednesday and Enid.
Nice.
And this came out very recently. So they're 5 POA. They're not like, they're very basically articulated, obviously, at 5 points of articulation. But trying to get the camera to focus. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice looking. The figures look fairly detailed. I'd seen them at Comic-Con last year, and I thought they looked pretty decent. So I wish they were super articulated. Like, that would be awesome, but they're not. Next thing. What do I got here? Okay, let's talk Hasbro stuff first. We'll go first with Hasbro. I got a case of 8 Imperial Stormtroopers.
Nice.
From the Vintage Collection. So I'm building my army. These came in from Entertainment Earth. And they sent them in a solid case of 8. So, of course, one of the greatest TVC figures released thus far is our Imperial Snowtrooper. And yeah, it's a really, 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 really hyper articulated figure. It looks great. It's an army builder, and of course, it's the kind that you're going to need multiples of if you're setting up a hot diorama, especially. You want to have multiples of these.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how cool would it be if we saw these guys in Andor?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm actually surprised they haven't reused, other than like the First Order Snowtrooper. I'm actually really surprised that after all these years of live action Star Wars on Disney Plus and in the films, that they haven't used the classic Imperial Snowtrooper design again. So,
well, I think in the Mando and Grogu movie, they did like a little sneak peek of some sort, and they like kind of showed them. I think, I don't know if it's the exact same look, but I know that there were snowtroopers in it.
You're right about that.
We're very excited about.
That is absolutely correct. Yes. So we will be seeing them again soon, and probably another figure. I got the Streets of Mos Eisley playset. So 2 of these came in from Amazon, and of course I needed 2 because, well, I want a bunch of walls for Tatooine. For Mos Eisley, and then there's 2 figures. So there's 1 figure in the set, the Jawa. So I one to keep open, 1 to keep carded. So that's another reason I needed 2 of these. But yeah, this came in. I haven't opened them yet. I'm gonna do it this weekend. I'm gonna see what it's all about. I don't even know where I'm gonna put it. Like, I don't have a. I assume it's gonna be part of my HasLab Cantina, right? But I don't even know where that's gonna go once I get it. So like I have no idea where I'm gonna put this. But Streets of Mos Eisley. This is Return to Tatooine. This is. I mean, how often do we get like Mos Eisley like playset type things? Like never. So I'm very 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 excited that it even exists. Let's see. Let's move on to my acquisitions from Disneyland. So I already mentioned the top of the show that I was the honorary citizen for doing a good deed for Snow White, which is really fun. So there's my pin. And I also got, as part of that little thing, I got 2 little perks here. I got some stickers, 2 Mickey Mouse stickers.
Cute.
They gave me. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to hang on to those. While I was there, I did get to, I went to the Lego store at Downtown Disney. And I got 2 figurines. So the first one I got, these are both keychains. So I got Snow White because it was kind of like a Snow White day. So just a little tiny Lego figurine keychain. And I also got Loki.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love those Lego keychains.
They're fun. I mean, it's a really easy way to get like the Lego figure of your favorite characters. And yeah, it's really nice. Okay, and then I posted these on my Instagram earlier, but I'm going to show my 2 Galaxy's Edge. Right now it's Season of the Force at Disneyland, and they're doing this. It started last Friday, May 28th, and it runs through, I think, April 4th, or April 4th, May the 4th. I'm all over the place with the 4th. I said July 4th earlier. May the 4th this year. One of the specials they have is this right here. This is the Coaxium Sipper. Of course, the Coaxium is, Solo, right? The heist is all about studying the Coaxium. And then you also use it on the Millennium Falcon ride. You're trying to steal the Coaxium for Hondo Ohnaka. So this is a sipper. It does come with a drinking straw. It's a gold straw that matches the sipper. I haven't opened it up yet. It's still in the paper. Don't know if I'm going to. But yeah, this is a neat little trinket. It's just the kind of thing you're going to have on the shelf. I mean, it looks fun. It's actually has some pretty nice weathering on it. But what it does is there is a button, because it is a sipper. You can actually drink out of it. The straw hole is right here on top. You push the button and it does this. Ooh. So the Coaxium pops out like this little container. It has a button on the bottom. So you press it and it does say caution, handle with care. And you can see it kind of like, it doesn't quite flicker, but it does pulse a little bit. So the light, it dims and then it brightens. So we can kind of see it right there. But yeah, so this is the Coaxium. And the drink actually goes in here. I asked them not to put the drink in here. I asked them to give me the drink on the side, which they were nice enough to do. But yeah, just turn it off. Put it back in the container. This reminds me of like if you're old enough to remember like banks, like when you do the drive-through at the bank, and they have those canisters that pop out, and then you put your deposit in it or your check or whatever it is, and then you put in the canister like this. You close it and you put it in the thing, and then it gets sucked up into the tube and goes to the bank teller. I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about, but in Texas at least that's what they still have them too in Texas. I don't know. They don't have them here in California though. So yeah, this is my Coaxium sipper. And then of course the one that's all the rage these days, also for Season of the Force, is the Death Star popcorn bucket.
Nice.
So this opens here at the top. Nobody ever shows you online like how you put the popcorn in them, but I'm showing you guys. It has a little hatch on top, and then there is a button on bottom. The button's going to be right there's. You press the button, and the Death Star lights up, just like so. And you can see the little, like, it shines through the little holes that are on the Death Star. So like all the way around, it's got little holes, and it's got a strap so you can like wear it on your person like this and walk through Disneyland just with your Death Star popcorn bucket. And then you press the button again, and it does this little number here. and then it stays lit up.
That's sick.
It is. It's a lot of fun. I love it. I love it. These popcorn buckets are a blast, and they're coming out with the Tauntaun one, I think, next week. So it's like I got to go back and get a Tauntaun.
You guys get all the cool stuff over there. I feel like in Orlando, like Florida, we don't really get any of the cool stuff.
I know. I don't know why they do that. I mean, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't make any sense for them to do it that way. But I don't know. So yes, I was a very happy camper. It's the first thing I did when I got there is I went and made sure I got both of those. But before the end of the night, I couldn't leave Galaxy's Edge. I couldn't leave Season of the Force without doing one more pickup. And I got this right here. A nice little black decorative box with the Rebel Alliance logo. But that's not all. It has something in it. So it actually opens up.
Ooh.
And what is inside? What is inside, do you ask? Check this out, y'all. Yavin medal. Yavin medal. I don't know if it's Luke or Han's or Chewie's. Chewie didn't get a medal, but I'm gonna pretend it's Chewie's medal. This is the reason he didn't get a medal, because it was in Galaxy's Edge. I haven't taken out of the box yet. This is the first that I'm taking out of the box. So this is the medal right here. It's got a nice strap. But yeah, you can see it's got some pretty nice sculpted detail on it. It's heavy. It is made of metal. The back, not a lot to see. Of course, it has like the little legalese on the back. It says Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Made in China. Some number on it. Lucasfilm. But yeah, this right here, let's see. So it's actually Velcro. It's interesting. It's very interesting that it's Velcro. I don't know why it would be Velcro. Like, honestly, you can't, it's not like extendable size or anything, so I don't know why it would be Velcro. It's really weird. And that kind of makes me nervous. Like, if I'm walking around, it just has Velcro. But look, I got my Yavin medal. Eee. I don't know why they gave me a Yavin medal. I can't imagine what I possibly did to earn a Yavin medal, but here it is. I hosted Cantina Social Hour. Maybe that's why they gave it to me. That poor girl, they said. She tortures herself and everybody else in the world every Friday. Let's give her a medal. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I like that they do. They also had the Imperial Officer rank badge, and I was interested in that. I'll probably get that later. Can't buy it all at once. But yeah, back in the box. Probably what I'm going to do is find a way to display it behind me. Maybe I'll put it on Grogu. I don't know yet.
I wonder if it was like Velcro because maybe they like model, like, I don't even know if the original prop like that they used in the movie, like maybe that was Velcro and they were modeling it after that. But I feel like that's a stretch, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes.
It's odd. It's a really odd choice. And it does make me nervous. Like if it were like a solid thing where, it's not going to fall, then that's cool. But it's Velcro. It's like...
It looks like it has some weight to it too, so
it is. That's what makes me nervous. It's pretty hefty. It's pretty hefty. But yeah, those are my acquisitions for this week. So now we will move over into the comments, into the chat. 51 new comments. Oh my goodness. You guys have been adding a lot of things to your collections. Let's see here. Let's see here. Pico B1 says, new acquisition, Funko 40th anniversary Wampa and Probe Droid, also Queen Amidala Artist Series, and 2 of my Street of Mos Eisley playsets. Very nice. And yeah, that Amidala has been tempting me. Like, I see her and I'm like, But I haven't done it yet. Corey, hello. Says, my collection has been real G.I. Joe classified heavy lately. Also been getting into some random 1/18 scale things as well. Nice. Trevor picked up the Howler and Sabine, a Snowtrooper, and the Shriek Hawk 4-pack. Very nice. I've as of yet gotten the Shriek Pack 4-pack. Seriously, Star Wars says that your Grogu is adorable, Lex.
Appreciate it.
Mary got the Street of Mos Eisley and NECA Puppet Master Leech Woman and Toulon's Puppet Case. Nice. So you got the Streets of Mos Eisley too. Dodgen says Lego My Ego. Okay. Adam got one this week's Black Series Sauvage Press, and he is just incredible, as was Entertainment Earth's packaging. Very nice. Very nice.
GG's.
Miles says 2.5-inch Jack's Bart Simpson with slingshot. Allison says after a gap, the collection had a little influx today too of the Streets of Mos Eisley. So I'm not the only one buying these in twos. That makes me feel a little better.
Seems very popular. The Streets of Mos Eisley.
It does, yeah. Miles asking, do you think we'll get an army builder pack for the snowtroopers? I think eventually we might. Eventually. Dodgson didn't get any new acquisitions this week. Yeah. Well, I hope tomorrow, Dodgson, you get something.
Pocket of Air and Flies. I'm gonna have to file that away to use later. I love
Yeah,
that.
that's a Dodgson 93 classic right there, a staple. But he's not sure if he's going shopping tomorrow. But okay, well, if you do, I hope you find something cool that isn't a PAF. Let's see. Wow, 17.28 says I got 3 sets of Tatooine Mos Eisley this week. Nice.
Nice.
Bob says, I've heard the Streets of Tatooine sets are compatible with Navarro Cantina. Can anyone confirm? I cannot confirm. I've not heard if you can connect them with it. Interesting if so. But yeah, I haven't tried that and I'm not sure. Bob knows about the bank vacuum tubes. Okay. I'm glad it's not just me. Victoria just leaked the Death Star's weakness. Oh, yeah, the big hatch on top. Yeah. 17.28 remembers bank tubes. Okay. We need an X-Wing big enough to enter the popcorn bucket and blast some torpedoes. Oh, well, all we need to do is pop popcorn in it. We just throw the kernels in there, put it in the microwave, and then you'll blow it up like that. I'm not going to do that. You're paying whatever I paid for that thing. In the late 70s, early 80s, Velcro was space age. Okay. So maybe it is accurate to the prop. I don't know.
That's the only thing I can think of.
I mean, it could very well be. Make up a metal backstory. You guys make up the metal backstory. How did I get the metal? I have no idea. You guys make that up. Could the Velcro be there to enable it to be touched a variety of costumes? I mean, possibly, but I mean, like, I still think it would be more secure, like if it didn't have Velcro, like if it was just a solid piece of like strap. But torture, heavens no. Social hour is a succession worth the medal. You carry the social hour, and you should be proud of being. Well, thank you, Dustin. It's kind. Britt picked up the Black Series, Commander Bakara, and Savage Press. Good pickups.
Nice.
Very good pickups. And then let's see. Trevor says, can confirm, saw it on the latest Toys Are the Way video. However, they are different colors. Okay, so they do connect, the Death Star and the Navarro Cantina. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. And Dodgson is checking out. Well, don't leave yet, Dodgson, because I think we're about to wrap it up. I don't see any new acquisitions further than what we've called out. So I do want to say thanks to everybody who shared your acquisitions with us. And that being said, I just want to remind everybody that next week I am having my 12th anniversary show on regular time, Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. It'll be the 12th anniversary special live stream. And I made a new song. I don't know if I'm going to release it yet. I might. If you guys want to hear it, I might release it here on Social Hour next week. But I don't know. You guys can let me know. But so last year I did put out the album Sounds of the Cantina. It was more of like a synthwave type album. This newer music is a departure from that. It's a little bit different. So I don't know that I'm going to do another album because that was a lot of work. But I may put out a song here and there. Maybe this will be one of them. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I should show it on the anniversary show. I don't know. In addition to that, I just want to say, Lex, thank you again for coming on and hanging out with me. It's been a blast. And where can our audience go to look you up on the interwebs?
It's either Jedi.Lex or Jedi_Lex, mainly on YouTube and Instagram. I do have a TikTok that I use very infrequently because I'm just unsure of the stability of that app, but Instagram and YouTube have kind of been like my main for the past few months. Pretty much just do collectibles, conventions, reactions. So I'll be hopping into a lot of the Andor stuff that's going on. If you're interested in any celebration and my experience with it, definitely check it out. And I really appreciate you inviting me back on. It's been a blast, and I have enjoyed each time that I've come on now. So 2 great experiences. So thank you for that.
Awesome. Well, glad you were able to, and we were able to have you on again, and we'll have to do it again in the future for sure. And I just wanted to let everybody else know, because I forgot to mention this. There is a new episode of the Vintage Collection podcast that was recorded yesterday with our friend Chris from Bantha School. And that episode will be published within about the next week or so. So be staying tuned for that. And follow Lex. Her Instagram and her YouTube are down below in the description. Make sure you do that if you haven't already. And yeah, I don't know, Adam, how are we at the end of another? The time flies when you're having fun is what it is. Time flies when you're having fun. But yeah, thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it. Those who have been hanging out in the chat. Even if you're not in the chat, you're just watching and you're hanging out. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here with us. It's always fun. It's always a blast. And can't wait to do it again next week. Same time, same place. So no matter where you're tuning in from out in the galaxy, thank you for watching Cantina Social Hour. Be well, be safe, may the force be with you. Be kind, be positive, spread love, and look out for one another. And we will see you guys. We will see you guys next week. All right, Lex, hang on for just a moment. Everyone else, we will see you. Let's do the fireworks thing one more time. Fireworks, fireworks, yeehaw, fireworks, all of it. Let's see, all of it at once. Does it work? Yes. I don't remember the other one for the balloons. Was it one thumb up? I don't know. No. Was it the other thumb? Am I doing the wrong thumb? I don't know. The balloons. Balloons are its own, like, I don't even know how to do the balloons anymore. But anyway. Anyway. Thank you, everybody. And we will see you next time. Peace out.
Thank you very much.